Hi everyone, this is Jim West with Carolina Varsity, and in this segment I want to talk about the 1A, 2A Coastal 8 Conference. And this is not one of my favorite conferences only because I thought there's ways to prevent having a split conference here. There was plenty of 2A schools and enough 1A schools to make it a little bit better than it is now. I think geographically this conference is kind of a mess. It stretches a little bit too far for my own liking, but that's just my 2 cents. Right now, to me it's a three-way battle for number one, and I'm going with Southwest Onslow, which historically would not be a surprise to anybody. But just a couple years ago, I think they went 3-8, and they're really kind of bottomed out. But I think the Stallions are going to be back up. To me, it was kind of like which team is the least flawed, and that's where I got Southwest Onslow. Not a To me, it's not a great team, but it's not a team that you should dismiss either. Number two, I do have is the Mariners at East Carteret. Beaufort historically has not been known for having great football play, but I think Coach Caleb King's done a great job at East Carteret, and I know the guys over in Beaufort are sad to see him going to Havelock, but I do believe that they still have enough talent and depth that would give them the second position in this conference. The big thing is they lost a lot of their huge senior class. A lot of their firepower from the year before is gone. But let's wait and see what happens. I might be surprised. Number three is Dixon, and historically Dixon has not been a very strong team. It's been more and more of one of these have-not programs. But got to give the guys from Holly Ridge a shout out because I think they could win this conference. They're not by any stretch of the imagination a weak team anymore. Good running game, defense. I think they should be okay. It's not going to be a great team, but it's not going to be a bad team either. Now 4 through 8, I'm going to say actually 4 through 7. Take your pick on that. I got 4 at Croton. I think they lack experience, but who knows what's going to happen with Croton. I think their depth probably a little bit better. Number 5 I do have is Trask. I think their depth is an issue, but their defense will be better. So, these teams are none of them are going to go further in the second round, and most of them will be happy to make it to the second round. Number 6 I have Pender. I think it was back in 2010. They went to the 1AA state championship and lost to Albemarle. That was a team that was coached by Tom Eanes. Pender has struggled ever since then, and I don't think this year is going to be the year that they come back out of it. Number 7 I have is Richlands. They could finish as high as 4th in this conference. However, they're just happy that they have Lejeune in their conference. Lejeune have them in last. Last year they scored all of 14 points in 11 games. I think they only scored in 2 games the whole year. And Devil Pups, what their problem is just continuity. You just don't know from one year to another what players are going to be back at your program. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on the 1A, 2A Coastal 8. And this is Jim West with Carolina Varsity, and thank you so much for listening to me.